Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is August 29, 2023. What a day, huh? What a day for the bulls. Well, before we go and take a look at the chart, just go and take a look at the indexes and see how they have performed. The top performer for the day is the NASDAQ with NASDAQ 100 topping the list with 2.15% gain. And the NASDAQ Composite 1.75%, SP 500 follow up with 1.45%, Russell 2000 1.42%, the New York Stock Exchange Composite 1.02%, the Dow Jones Transportation 0.86%, and the Dow Jones Industrial 0.85%. And looking at the 11th sector in the S&P 500, the top performer is consumer discretionary with 2.5% gain, followed by communication 2.22%. The XLK, the technology sector, is 2%. The material is 1.66%. Real estate 1.14%. Financial 0.91%. Healthcare 0.9%. Industrial 0.76%. Utility 0.38%. Consumer stable 0.36%. And at the bottom of the list is energy at 0.27%. One thing to note is they are all green, so every sector went positive. Now here are some of the subsector, what I call the industry, and notice on the top of the list is the semiconductor, and that's no surprising choice here, right? Because Nvidia is over $20, went up almost over 4%, I believe. I'm going to take a look at that a little bit later, but right now we're looking at this, these industry, the semiconductor. Topping the list with 2.5% gain, and the home builder 2.37%. The miners is 2.36%. Retailer 1.58%. Here's the oil 1.26%. The bank is 1.22%, and biotech 1.07%, and the regional bank is 0.95%, and the oil processor is 0.5%. So once again, all these industry or the subsector are all in the green as well. Now let's take a look at the internal. These are intraday internal. Notice the up-down volume ratio for the New York Stock Exchange is 4.5 to 1 in favor of the up volume. And notice the volume is primary up volume throughout the day that is dominating the down volume. And in the NASDAQ, it's 1.2 to 1 in favor of the up volume. And the Russell 2000, the Russell is 3.3 to 1 in favor of the up volume. Looking at the advanced decline, notice that the advanced decline went negative early in the open, but once it getting close to the consumer sentiment report coming out, it turned positive. And after that came out, this thing is just surge up and stay up near the 2,000 mark. So there are more than 2,000 issues, more advancing issue than declining issue in the New York Stock Exchange, and finish off the day at 1937. So that is almost 85-90% of the stock is advancing in the New York Stock Exchange. You figure there's a little bit over 3,000 stock traded in the New York Stock Exchange on a daily basis. So if you take 2,000, somewhere around 2,000, and so you remain another 1,000. So split that in half, that's 500. So it's 2,500 to 500, right? So that is pretty close to 90%, right? So here and the NASDAQ also over 1,800, more advancing issue than declining issue. And most of the day it was hovering around 2,000. So once again, it was market participation in today's rally, and the cumulative tick positive throughout the entire session. Same with the NASDAQ, and we see a lot more buy program, institution buy program than sell program. Notice only a few tick that is actually less than down at the minus 500 or less, or more negative. And same with the NASDAQ market, quite a number of positive 500 tick. But notice that none, almost none. Well, we did get one on the open that is minus 500 or less, okay, or more negative. So purely on the buying side, institution is busy buying. And you can see that on the intraday chart here on the SPY, you can see it just continues the trend up. So it is a trend day. So I'm going to show you the volume profile and actually show you that it is a trend day. So it is not some kind of short covering, rally here. It's you got some other time frame, basically a little bit more of a longer time frame. People, traders that are buying it up today, not these day trader or short-time traders, short-term traders. Now let's take a look at the sentiment on a daily basis. The VIX closed at 14.45. So definitely the market participant are very comfortable, not fearing anything right now, very complacent. And the put-call ratio came back down to close to that 0.75 level. So once we dip down to this 0.5 or 0.6, then the market participant basically risk on. So right now it's still being a little cautious, but I wouldn't be surprised if this rally continue in the next few days. This thing might dip down to 0.6 or 0.5, and we see a little bit more complacency in the marketplace. So here we see the first 2 days of the week, we have up-down volume ratio strongly in favor of the up volume, and also broad market participation on the upside. Notice yesterday's advanced decline is also over 1,000. And for the new high, new low, we see that the last couple of days, we have a little bit more stock making new 52-week high than 52-week low. So the 52-week low came down a bit, while the 52-week high, the number of stock making 52-week high came up a bit. So that's a little bit of an encouraging sign. And here for the cumulative advanced decline line, we see that it is coming up along with the SP 500 nicely. So they are both moving in unison. So we are not seeing any sort of a negative divergence or positive divergence. And here looking at the NASDAQ market also show pretty good up-down volume ratio today, almost 6 to 1, 5.7 to 1 in favor of the up volume. Yesterday, a little bit softer, but it's still respectable down at the 2.2 in favor of the up volume, and also broad market participation for the first 2 days of the week. Today was quite strong. Yesterday is a little bit under 1,000, with basically 995 more advancing issue than declining issue, but today is over 1,900. And for the NASDAQ new high, new low, we did see the number of stock coming up, making new high came up a bit, but still there are more stock making new 52-week low than 52-week high, although that margin is being smaller now. It's only 56 more new 52-week low than 52-week high for today. And here in the cumulative AD line for the NASDAQ market, we did see it come up along with the NASDAQ 100, but we're still looking at this negative divergence here on the short-term basis comparing to the NASDAQ 100. And then on a longer-term basis, we are still looking at this huge negative divergence that we need to get resolved. Let's take a look at the ES, the E-mini S&P 500. And just a reminder, I will go to a little bit more detail on the E-mini S&P 500 and also the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500 on my Substack newsletter, my daily trade plan. So you are interested in seeing what are those levels for the coming days, then go check out the newsletter later on. I will post that sometime in this evening. So go and check out the Substack newsletter. I have the link in the description below. So let's take a look at this market profile chart here and see what have transpired for today. Notice that this single print here got taken care of by today. And also we have these single print here that got left over, also got taken care of, got resolved. But what we see it created is left some single prints here. Now, I'm not sure, is there a poor high here? Let's take a closer look. So there is no poor high, so that's okay. Now, we're basically looking at these single prints, and there's a couple single print here as well. So there's 3 spots that we have single print that we be looking at for the coming day for a possibility of a pullback and fill the single print. Now, there are also, this poor low here that need to get resolved as well. And there's this negative point of control. So if we are going to see some sort of pullback, maybe this Thursday when we get the PCE report. Maybe, maybe not, right? But whenever, if we see a pullback, look for the single print to get resolved and come down and take out this poor low here to get this resolved. Now, before that, yeah, we could come up and possibly come up and tag this point of control, naked point of control, and also some of the single print and a poor low up here left, in July and also at the beginning of August. So, those are the possible upside level. Like I said, I will go through this in a little bit more detail in my trade plan post this evening. Now, let me show you the profile for the mini S&P 500 ES. As you can see, this profile here, normally one would say it's a P profile, right? Let me change the color here so we could see it a little bit better. I'm going to use blue. Right? Normally we would say this is a P profile. But notice that we have a lot of these little balance area in between. Right? It's not like we are just going up, very thin layer of volume here. So we are, it's basically on a trend day, right? It pause here, and then pushes up. Okay, so we do have some little bit of a consolidation between the next level up. So it is a trend day pushing up, not in a short cover rally that it just go boom, 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 and then because the short basically have to cover their position by entering market order. The other time framer, they are basically building a position. They will put a limit order. They usually use a limit order to get in, right? So you see those little bit pause there and get the order filled. So when you see something like this, then it kind of gives you a clue that it's more than just a short covering rally. I'm not saying that there are no short covering happening here. It's just that you also have the other time framer coming in, buying, establishing their position, accumulating some position here. Similarly, if you take a look at the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, likewise, you see these accumulation here before it move up. So if I, go down to 3 minute, and you can see on the 3 minute chart here, you can see these, these low balance area here, right? So, and then here's this, so we're consolidating right now, building this up. So again, there are a lot of short setting up here, short position setting up. You never know, right? Because a lot of people is essentially going kind of extended long, because we also on the volume profile, we have a poor high here. So we got a lot of, late long coming in here too. So we could get a little bit of a liquidation break tomorrow to flush out some of these late long and the weak longs. So beware of that possibility. Okay, let's take a look at the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500. Now, before I go to the price action here for today, I just want to point out all these levels that I have on the chart is extracted from a composite volume profile. So there's no, trend line or that kind of stuff here. It's purely what we call the MGI, market generated information. Okay, so I'm basically extracting the ledgers, some of the high volume node, and also some of the interested low volume node. Right, so that's basically where all these levels are coming from. Okay, so let me zoom in, and then we could take a look at the price action and see what happened today. Okay, what I got is a 15-minute chart of the SPY. I also put in the overnight session here. I'm not paying too much attention here because that is before the London Open or the European market open. So this is 1 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so that is 4 o'clock Eastern time, New York time. So we'll see. We see that I have also marked off with these dashed line here, the overnight high and the overnight low. And here's the plan that I put out yesterday, saying this is what we be looking for today. And the level to watch is 444, this level here. Okay, so we're basically saying that watch this level here, and if it is above this level, then we'd be targeting 445, and then the 446.80, which is this version point of control from some time back. And this right here is the weekly expected move upper range between 446.40 and 447.80. Now I have published that and talk about this in my weekly S&P 500 analysis video. So if you missed that, go back and watch that, and you could also get my analysis and what I kind of keying off of for the week, and what level am I watching for the week. Okay, so those are the level, and as you can see, it came up and opened. And soon as after, shortly after the consumer sentiment report came out, the reading came out, we see this market just surge up. Okay, so it tagged this, hit this 445 target. This is first target, and then it came up and paused a little bit. When it hit this target here, pull back a little bit before it come up and push above it and to the upper range of the expected move. Now, I did not put in any higher level than the Virgin Point of Control as the target for today, because I thought it would not come up this much. I think it's up 60 points or so today, all right? So definitely it's got quite a lot. I mean, on the cash index here. So I did not expect it to come up to this high here, for today. So again, I'm gonna have an updated trade plan and some of the level to keep an eye on for tomorrow's session. Okay, so basically we see this pretty much play out and hit our target. Now, if I put in using a lower time frame and use the 3-minute period time frame, I don't know what happened here. This is after hours, so it could be anything. So we're looking at the 3-minute chart here, right? It came up. Here's the first target level this trigger level, the level that we're watching off. And, it kind of hover around here and then it pushed through, right? So that's the first time that I actually moved right to our pivot level 444. Came up, first candle, 3-minute candle, within 3 minutes after it pushes up, it hit this target here, 445. Pause a little bit, and then push, and came up to this 446.80 Virgin Point of Control. I think just a little shy, right? So if you need to make that number and then watch this drawback, pull back before it come up and pushes over. So depending on how you manage your trade, did you trail it up and that kind of stuff, that you might be able to capture these level up here, this big move. Okay, so the other level to keep an eye on is basically the upper range, right? Okay, so hopefully you were able to capitalize on today's move, and that you also saw my trade plan and have some level that you were kind of keying off from, rather than just trade blindly. Especially for a day like this, if you do not have a plan or some predefined level to keep an eye on, you're basically going to be very emotional, right? Because the market is moving in such a way that if you do not have a plan, you really don't know, should I sell now, should I buy now, or whatever, right? So have a plan, and if you'd like to see what I'm looking at, go and read my trade plan, my daily trade plan that I publish in my Substack newsletter. Again, the link in the description below. So likewise, looking at the E-mini S&P 500, and here's the plan that we're looking at, right, from yesterday that I published. I said if it's greater than 4450, if it's above this line here, this is the pivot level that we're looking at, 4450, then we'll be targeting this 4457 and 3/4. So you see that right here, as soon as we open, push through, came back to a back test and push. Right, and then got this 4457.75. Then the next level up is 4470 and 1/4. Right, that's what it said right here. Okay, then it got it, and it came back down and did a back test once again, and then it pushed to the next level, which is the HVN at this 4485. So you see that it hit this 4485 and continue to push up into the VPOC. Okay, so that is the one level that I did not mention down here. I'm not sure did I mention it on the text, so I haven't looked back yet. So, but again, you could basically target these level on the chart here that I have. And what I'm saying is also enter this new, this upper balance area here. So zooming back out, you can see that I have identified 3 balance area. Okay. So we've been trading in this balance area, and I was saying in the trade plan is that we're going to continue to bounce around in this balance area until the price either bounce out and move up to the upper balance area or break down and move down to this balance area before we start looking at these trade level up here. So as you can see today, it moved into this balance area. So tonight, when I publish my trade plan, we'll be looking at level inside of this balance area. Now, there is the possibility of coming back down and backtest this break, right? So there's that possibility. Right now, it's coming up here. So we need to assess the what are the opportunity up here in this balance area. Okay, so I hope you find this little brief update informative and useful, and be sure to smash that thumbs up to give it a like and help promote this video on YouTube. And if you're new to this channel and like to continue to watch these content, click the subscribe and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. And by the way, yeah, make sure to go and visit my Substack page for additional content and also for my daily trade plan. Thank you for watching and stay safe.